Alrighty, hello everyone. So today I'm going to cover a couple of things. Okay, a kind of a main message and a couple of smaller messages. So main message is: what if the thing, the problem you're experiencing with health, or basically anything in life, really, you can apply this principle to all things. What if it never changed, and or potentially what if it got worse and worse and worse as time went by? How would you be? How would you feel? Okay. Um, I'll come into a bit more detail on that in a little bit. And for the sake of kind of keeping this information in a at least reasonably confined space, so it's not just in the WhatsApp group and it's just lost. Even by probably Monday, it will be lost in the group. So I want this to get this bit about skin in, because we got asked the question about a rash, okay, this week. And why might we get rashes? Okay, so I did put in the group, there's a few things. Okay, so I want to focus on the kind of the emotional side of it, the German new medicine side of why we might get a rash. Okay, but again, this a similar thing equates to chemicals, clothing. Yeah, bugs, sunlight. Okay, so sunburn is basically just a reaction to too much sun. Okay, and it's your body builds a protective layer that hurts inflammation. That is because you've received too much sunlight. Okay, so it's kind of the same thing. There's too much. I need a separation. I need this extra barrier between my insides and the outside. Okay. Um, Even though there is no difference between inside and outside, but because we are all the same thing, all part of the same universe. But so there is a perhaps a more spiritual answer to this as well. But and the spiritual answer is there is nothing wrong with me anyway. It's just the thought that something wrong with me that kind of brings it up. Anyway, so German new medicine when it comes to skin. Skin is our barrier between what appears to be me and what appears to be you or other things. Okay, so it's the barrier between me and this cup. Okay, it's the barrier between me and the air and whatever else other things kind of might be in it. It's the barrier between me and my clothes and maybe whatever chemicals are on it. And I'm itching talking about this, so it's funny. So it's I've got a few spots here. Okay, and there's one just kind of in the top edge of my beard here, and there's one here, and I can't remember exactly, but I think over the weekend, playing around on the sofa with the girls, I think I got spat on, something like that. Something splashed me in the face. Um, I have a vague recollection of that happening. So small, so insignificant. Hey, but something splashed me in the face a few days ago, and I have had a spot there. You could probably see that one for a couple of days. So something splashed me in the face. At the time, it was a shock. It was a surprise. I didn't want it. It was something my body perceived as an attack, and it has gone out and defended itself. Okay, and it's defended itself by creating a spot. Okay, it's eaten up the skin cells that were there and created a protective layer. It's then filled with the remnants of that destruction and regrowth. We might call that pus. I don't want to kind of make it grosser than it needs to be. And then it's recovered. And just from the message I got from the group this morning was, it just reminded me, something splashed on my face the other day. Okay, so either Monday, but probably over the weekend, and I've had a spot. I can just feel it now. It doesn't feel particularly great. Okay, since then. Okay, I've had it for a few days this week. I know it's going to go away. It's a really minor thing. It's really insignificant. But with a rash, depending on the size of it, that might feel more significant, okay? And it's bothering you, it's irritating, it's itchy. You might be tempted to put creams and stuff on it to relieve the itch. Not necessarily the wrong thing to do, also not necessarily the right thing to do. You kind of got to, this is where I would say, ask your intuition, what should I do with this? Okay, so you sit down and go, right, okay, intuition, I've got this rash, what shall I do? And you might get an image of some form of cream that you've probably already got in your cupboard, or one that you've used before that you can just nip down to Sainsbury's or the pharmacy and just go grab it off the shelf, because and within a day or two it's gone. Okay, but why did it come about in the first place? So according to German New Medicine, skin, I can't remember if I already said this, skin is to do with separation. It's trying to protect you from outside influences. Now that can be clothing, chemicals, bugs, people. Okay. Another example might be, let's say you're cleaning your toilet, okay, and it splashes up as you've got the bog brush down there, you're scrubbing around the edges and you're scrubbing down into the thing and it splashes up. There's bleach in there, there's toilet water, and it's just this, it's just kind of a disgusting job-ish, okay? And it's not really that disgusting, but it's not pleasant, okay? And you really don't want that kind of water splashing on your face. So maybe you wash it off, maybe you don't, but then, where the water splashes your face, maybe you get spots there, or maybe you get a small rash there for a few days. In fact, I've got a little patch of dry skin just on my eyelid there as well. Okay, so not only do I have these spots here, but I've also got this patch of dry skin. So maybe that whatever splashed me also got me in the eye a little bit as well. So yeah, so depending on where it is in your body, and I said this in the group, I used to get really itchy legs when I was working at the gym. At the time, I was eating to save money on going to M&S. There was nowhere to eat nearby at the gym. It was kind of slightly out of the way. It's Batchwood Gym in St Albans, if anyone knows it. It's slightly out of the way. There's nothing particularly close. I can't really you couldn't walk to Tesco's or anywhere in 10-15 minutes, eat your lunch, have a half an hour lunch break or 45-minute lunch break. You couldn't walk anywhere, grab anything and walk back. You had to drive, and at the time I didn't have a car, so I'd always take food with me, and what was easiest was to take bologneses and chilies. Okay, I tended to eat a lot of bolognese and a lot of chili, and with both of those, there tended to be tomatoes, peppers, aubergines, some courgettes, nightshade vegetables, and I was eating that multiple times per week. Possibly 7 or 8 times a week I was having a chili or a bolognese, whether it was for my lunch or for my dinner, or sometimes both. So maybe I was having it 12 or 14 times a week, which seems crazy to think about now. I didn't particularly like the job. It wasn't going particularly well. Didn't have many clients. I didn't particularly enjoy being in a gym. I've never really enjoyed being in a gym. I don't like gyms. I don't like to work out in gyms in particular. If I'm going to a gym, I want to be in and out pretty much as fast as I possibly can. I don't even go anymore. I've stopped. Because why do something I don't like? Even if it kind of gets the result that maybe I'm looking for. But I didn't like doing it, so I stopped. But yeah, that for me, partly because of the job, partly because I cycled to work. I think 4 days out of 6 that I was in the gym. That then affected my legs because it's to do with sport and endurance. I can't go on. It's to do with cycling. It's to do with exercise. Okay, so it affected my legs. So I'd scratch and scratch and scratch. Occasionally, it would get so bad they would bleed. That wasn't that common, but occasionally it did. And again, at the time, I stopped eating so many nightshades. I changed up what I would take to the gym a bit, and it improved. It never really went away fully until I left the gym. It's like looking back at it now, it's like, well, I haven't had itchy legs for about 4 years, 5 years. And it was about 5 years ago that I left the gym. Because I was doing something I didn't want to do, and I wanted to get away. So if someone hugs me and I don't want that person to hug me, maybe they smell, maybe I don't like them, maybe I just want to spend as minimal time with this person as possible. In fact, I don't want to spend any time with this person at all. but they've hugged me, okay, or maybe they've just touched you on your chest, or you've shook their hand and then you touched yourself on the chest. Okay, it could even be that. Okay, this disgusting thing is on me now. Okay, your body builds a layer of skin, a level of inflammation that then looks like a rash. This person was irritating. This person got under my skin. These kinds of words and phrases, okay, or thoughts that you have about someone or something. Okay, where was the other place that was affected? Let me just check the messages. Top of my feet. Okay, this person's getting into my personal space. They're treading on my feet. Okay, they are in my way. Those kinds of things as well. Okay, this person's in my way. I don't like them. They're a bit disgusting. I want them away from me. They touched me. They're in my territory. So heart and chest is kind of related to territory. So there's all these things. It's kind of, it could be. And then there's the more spiritual side of things, is like, in that sense. So having said all of that, we're allowing someone to control our reactions. Okay. So yes, this person may or may not smell, they may or may not be kind of a disgusting person, but those are your feelings about this person. So you've got a choice whether or not you feel those feelings and have those thoughts about that person. And again, that's another way of thinking about it. It's like, well, I can change my thoughts. I'm not going to let this person affect me, no matter how disgusting, no matter how horrible, no matter what kind of devious, rude, horrible things this person might do. I'm not going to let them affect me. I'm not going to spend a moment's thought on this person anymore. Okay? And you kind of eradicate this situation from your world. Okay? Just by, I'm basically going to deny their existence as much as I possibly can. I'm not going to talk to them. I'm not going to talk about them. I'm not going to do anything to help this person. I'm not going to do anything to hinder this person. They basically don't exist to me. Or this problem doesn't exist to me. And we can get rid of it that way as well. So there's, for me, there's three ways of thinking about the world. And I've kind of hinted at this over the couple of times over the past few weeks, is that there's the kind of the medical, chemical, bug, virus, mechanical, kind of biological way of thinking about things. So that's very much physiotherapy, chiropractic, osteopathy, massage, taking pills, changing diets. We change diets because we assume there's something wrong with our hormones, and we've been told, okay, well, if you eat these kinds of foods, that's going to boost this kind of hormone in your system, and if you eat these kinds of foods, that's going to lower this kind of hormone in your system. Don't fully believe that anymore. I don't, but if you do, maybe that's the thing you've got to do. Then there's the emotional way, which is basically German new medicine, but also psychotherapy. Potentially hypnosis fits into that category a little bit as well, but kind of GMN, hypnotherapy, psychotherapy, maybe or maybe not hypnotherapy. And then there's the spiritual way, okay, which is basically nothing can affect me because I am a spiritual entity. This body really has nothing to do with anything. It's only a reflection of my thoughts. Okay? And if I change my thoughts, then I change my body. And that's really what I've been aiming at for the last 9 months, is this much more a spiritual side of things. It's more about thought. Okay? And how we feel about those thoughts as well. So it's kind of the emotional, spiritual side of things rather than anything physical that we can do. Okay, so it's for me, it's not about exercise. It's not about foam rolling. It's not really about mobility. It's not about what you eat. It's not about what you drink. It's not about what medications you take, all the chemicals and hormones and stuff that's going on in your body. You can think them different. You can think them different. There was a great, really, it's a shame I can't remember what book this is in. What book is this in? No, I'm not going to remember what book it's in. What's the story? It's come and gone. I told it there's a different one. This wasn't the one I was going to. Yes, it's about dissociative schizophrenia. Essentially, I can't remember what it's called now. Dissociative identity disorder. Okay, and that's where people have multiple personalities, whether it's 2, whether it's 5, however many it may or may not be. And a person who has this condition can switch personality. So one moment they could be like physically, they can be an adult male. They can disassociate and become a teenage girl, potentially. You could take blood tests of the adult male and get different blood results than when they change to the female personality. Okay, the teenage girl personality. You'll get different blood. You get different blood. which is absolutely crazy. And the people who have these conditions, they can flip between personalities in seconds. It's almost instant. I've seen videos of it on YouTube. I've not necessarily seen where they've looked at blood tests and stuff, but there's definitely an example where one personality has type 2 diabetes, another personality does not have type 2 diabetes, and they switch the personalities. One person is the original type 2 diabetic personality has type 2 diabetes markers in their blood. Okay, insulin levels and blah, 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 whatever. Okay, the personality who sees itself as healthy does not. Okay, this is a personality belief thing. Okay, in the vast majority. Okay, so it's what we believe, who we are, is what we get in the world. Okay, this is what we look like, how we act, how we behave, what we think about. Very, very, very important and very, very, very cool. So for me, it's like then becomes, okay, how can we switch personalities? How can I go from a person who believes this to a person who believes this? Okay, and this is, I am already healthy. I do already have the things that I want. Okay, and that's where visualization comes in. I did have a little kind of image. I was going to draw a picture of this, but I haven't. I haven't. Okay, I'll draw a picture of it now. So, yeah. Okay, let's start with this. Okay, so there's you, and there's time. This is the past, and this is the future. Okay, so the future is, past is on this side. Okay, we've come through here. Everything that's happened. Okay, stuff's happened. Okay, and the future's over here. The future is undecided. Okay, infinite possibilities. Okay, we want to pick one. Okay, healthy, wealthy, great relationships, good body, great hair, nice beard. Okay, that's my one. Whatever it is, let me just check this message because it might be important for this. It's not for this. Okay, cool. So we want to have an end, okay, or a goal. Okay, end or goal, okay, way over, not way over here, but over here somewhere, okay, some point in the future. Okay, it might be weeks away, might be months away, might be years away. Okay, and time is inevitably it's going to take us that way. It's going to be a wiggly line. Okay, you'll be going to and from, you'll be going up here, down here, but on average, it's going to take you to that at some point. Okay. What I want you to think about in today's treatment is bringing that end to where you are now. Okay, like that. Yeah, you're just going to bring that. You're going to loop time. You're going to go, right, okay, there is a point in the future. Don't know where it is. Doesn't matter where it is. I don't know how I'm going to get there. I don't know what I'm going to do. Okay, we're going to be in a state of, I don't know. I'm completely open-minded to how this can work. I can do this. I can achieve this. I can be the thing that I want to be. I can have the thing that I want to have. And we're going to, in our mind, okay, I want you to build a picture a little bit like this. Okay, super simple. It doesn't need to be complicated. okay, of pulling that end to now. Okay, maybe it's on a rope and you've got end on the end of the rope and you're just pulling it in and it's just nice and gentle. Okay, or your time is looping around and coming back to now. Okay, so that end, it's like, oh, okay, we're going to pull that time over here now. Now, this is not the main point that I was actually going to talk about, but I might save that main point for another day, because what I've given you there is some pretty big stuff. So that is what I want you to think about in today's treatment. Going to the end, okay, your goals. And don't see yourself traveling towards them. See them looping and jumping back to where you are now. You already have the thing. Your health is already perfect. This is a small addition to that. This is a message I sent to one of my other clients. Okay, if you're always looking for answers, you will always have questions. If you're always looking for money, you will always be in need of more money. If you're always looking for clients, you will always be in need of clients. If you're always looking for problems to solve, you will always have problems to solve. If you're always looking for health, you will always have health problems to fix. Okay. Okay. If you're always looking for solutions, you'll always have problems that you need solutions for. Okay. So our goal is to desire nothing, which is, I suppose, a challenge, but also it's only a challenge if I think it's a challenge. Okay, our goal is to desire nothing because we already have it. Okay, and by going to the end and going, right, okay, I already have it because it's there, it's in my imagined future. I'm going to bring my imagined future and go, right, okay, let's plonk it here now. Okay, I'm going to switch personality today. I'm going to go from this one type of personality that's sick, needs help, struggling, striving, frustrated, angry, sad, grief-stricken, whatever it might be. And I am going to pull in this new personality, which is me in the future. That's not any of those things. Okay, that is happy, that is joyful, not necessarily all the time, but much more of the time. That doesn't let situations, circumstances, and events of the world and of your life affect you. Okay, so you look at the news and you go, okay. You don't go, oh, that's terrible, that's really sad. Okay, even though it might be. Okay, even though there are terrible things happening in the world. Okay, you don't get sucked into feeling that, because the more you get sucked into feeling that, the bigger the problem gets. Okay, and the more it affects you. So if we want peace in the world, we need to feel peace. If we want health in the world, we need to feel health, and not basically buy the Daily Mail, okay? Because the Daily Mail is like, oh, carrots cause this and cucumbers cause that. And don't eat burnt meat because that's going to cause another thing. And eventually you'll be left with air, and you can't even drink tap water because that's poison as well. So it becomes, everything becomes so small, and I'm so trapped and I can't do anything, and you're not actually free. And the thing you want is freedom. And then when you realize, hang on a minute, I'm creating everything in my life, and all I need to do is pull the end to now and change my personality so that I meet that and match that, then I've already got all the things that I need. So let's end that there. Okay, and we'll move on to treatment. Cool. Have a great day.